Then I didn't ask that right. When we're concerned about education and stuff, I mean, I know that that would be lovely, but you were kidding, right?
Yeah, for this purpose,
Okay.
yes, I was.
Thank you.
Yep.
Other questions? Discussion? Ms. Bush?
I have a question about the replacement laptops for the teachers, and I'm seeing that each one would cost $1,170 basically. I know that laptops I've looked at, pretty high end, are around the $600–700 range that you can really get a decent computer. What is so special about these that would warrant them to be almost $1,200 each?
Mr. Lomoy, do you have the mic? Thank you.
Thank you. When you have a laptop or a computer in a network environment, it's a very different animal than what you would buy for a home environment. And so the specifications are laid out for network use versus home use. The other piece is a requirement of a very particular operating system, so we'll be looking for the professional version versus the home version, and so there's a price differential there. And then the other piece is, of course, the warranty. We're looking to add a 3-year warranty on all of our stations so that we're covering our investment. And so when you add up all of those things, that makes up the difference. What we're trying to do is standardize our computers, get the same make and model as best we can, and so you start looking at particular models to achieve that.
May I ask what operating system or what model we're looking at for these?
Yep. These are HP laptops. The particular operating system is Windows 7 Professional. It is a 64-bit operating system as opposed to a 32-bit operating system. And the exact model escapes me at the moment, but it is rated for network use. One of the problems that we have is when you build, as robust of a network as we have with coordinating with the town and getting all that wonderful technology, the last thing you want to do is to put very slow or inefficient computers onto that network. So in the long run, we're going to be making ourselves a lot more efficient and a lot less tech calls because we have quality equipment sitting on the network as opposed to the lower end home models.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lomoy. Do those also include a docking station?
No, docking station would be an extra add-on.
Thank you. Ms. Arm?
Could I just ask, I don't have this budget in my head, so if a board member's asking a question, would they mind telling me where in the budget they are, just so I can
Okay,
follow
if you
along
need
as
to
well?
know where this one is, it's in 57712 in the central office.
Thank you.
And in the white pages, you can find the breakdown.
Yep.
Other questions, discussion? This is Ms. Skolich.
I think this may be for Mr. Picaro, I'm not sure. The last budget meeting, there was a motion to remove the expenditure for extended day. Do we have a final figure? Sorry.
Yeah, because the amount that was requested came out of the contingency fund. That was the amount that had been added for the extended day. That's the amount that was withdrawn last time. I don't know if there was any supporting. I would assume that's your question. Were all the dollars associated with the extended day removed, or was it the...
From this budget summary page, with all the dollars for extended day removed, what would be the proposed expenditure percent increase and percent change? Do we know that?
Mr.
Do we
Carl?
know that?
Approximately 8.58%, 8.58% to be exact at this point, is their new bottom line.
Percent change?
Yes, increase.
So for board members. This is our second to last meeting before we look to, that we have scheduled, before we look to send this budget over to Town Hall. So I don't know what other actions you'd like to go through tonight. What the discussion there is. Ms. Fisher?
I'd like to look at the number of coaches we have per sport and per number of participants. It seems to me that we might be a little heavy on some coaches in some of these sports.
Can somebody pass the microphone back to Mr. Phelps, please?
Yes.
For 43 football players, I don't know why we need 5 coaches.
Well, we anticipate that increase. Traditionally we've had over 50 players go out each season, and as you know, the first couple of weeks go, then there's a drop off. And then these numbers are registered. We take them off the CIC eligibility list because they're not a part of it anymore, for accuracy in case there was playoff considerations. So we're always changing these numbers, but at the start of every season we do have at least 50 or more.
And you don't think 4 coaches could handle that?
Well, what happens is because of the different kinds of workouts and positions that are there, it's that supervision piece that's really important for the consistency of working with these young men and possibly a female that plays football, that, you know, when they're hitting practice and the sled work and some of the other conditioning, and especially in August when that first starts, that's real important. And then we also now have a bill, with heat stroke and concussion management. We've tried to honor on the part of safety.
I have some questions about other sports too, like wrestling. We have 18 wrestlers.
Yeah, that's an increase of 9 wrestlers from last year.
But one coach can't handle 18 students?
Again, no. That when it comes to working on the mat, with different weight classes, we have 14 weight classes. It's important to have an assistant. I know we didn't have one last year, that wasn't filled, but that's because that was a position that was very hard to fill. Nobody could apply for that, did apply. This year we have one person that has applied, but he's not really on board because he's trying to work on a certification, which is important.
Same question for cheerleading and girls outdoor track and boys outdoor track.
Cheerleaders, they do have a head coach and assistant. You said girls outdoor and boys outdoor?
Right, but cheerleading only has 14 girls.
Yeah, we always have had that 14 to 16, 17, 18 girls.
Have we
two
always had an
coaches.
assistant?
Yes. That was there even before I came on board.
Same with the track?
Yes. Because of the running events, and we also have the weights, the weight events like shot put. They're specialized position coaches for jumps, pole vaulting, discus, javelin.
Thank you.
Mr. Phelps, can you clarify, I just want to make sure, are all of these coaching positions listed currently filled, or are there some vacancies currently? And if there are vacancies, can you identify which ones have vacancies currently?
Let's see, all of VCMS is filled. Actually, the baseball, we are advertising for that. Like I said, wrestling, we do have a person who's interested, but he needs to, he's continuing to finish up his certification process there.
So you currently only have one head coach on that team,
Yes,
and you're trying to fill the assistant?
yes.
Thank you.
I'm trying to look here. All these are filled. I mean, you know, with coaching changes, we put that out there for application. And then if it's a head coach position, what happens sometimes with, you know, the head coach, if it's an assistant coach who becomes a head coach, then the head coach is responsible for helping out with the process of hiring his assistant or her assistant to share philosophy and standards, and so then we work on filling that position.
Correct, but all these are currently filled, is what you're saying today?
Yes.
Other than
Yeah,
the-
I mean, boys swimming and diving, we have those students who work with South Windsor at Star Hill. They have the coaches for that. That's why there is no coach listed for boys swimming and diving.
Thank you. Ms. Fisher?
I believe in our budget, we have 3 coaches for girls volleyball for next year, because
Yes, that is a position that I have put in, I think, for the last 2 or 3 years. There are anywhere between, this year there were 13 freshman girls, and sometimes it's been high as 16, 17, 18 girls, freshman girls that come out for volleyball, and we do kind of run a freshman program, and it's our varsity coach that coaches both teams, and she's been doing that for many years to try to introduce that to the high school program, because we don't have a middle school volleyball team. So there's always large numbers of girls that come into volleyball.
So that number 36 is divided amongst 3 teams basically this year?
Yes. One year it has been high as 50.
Other questions, comments, discussion, actions? Ms. Bush?
Just continuing on with the sports, the boys' basketball has 33 young men on it, and we have 3 coaches. How many freshmen are on the freshman team?
On the freshman team, I want to say 11.
And
There were 12, but one was, one boy needed to work more on academics.
And do the varsity and junior varsity basically work out at the same time together?
Sometimes the varsity coach wants just to work with his varsity players on offensive and defensive plays, and while the JV coach will work down at the other end of the court with his players on those same kinds of things. Inbounds plays.
Thank you.
Ms. Storm?
Which sports charge an admission?
To watch them play is football, girls and boys basketball, and then night soccer games under the lights. They're allowed, the girls are allowed 3 night soccer games and the boys are allowed 3 night games. Sometimes that doesn't happen because of the weather or the field conditions.